Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is August 14th when I'm recording this. It's Friday still. Yeah, actually, I'm out traveling, so I'm on my laptop right now, and that's why we're going to try and keep this one a little bit closer, quicker, because I want to get out here. It's Friday night, go have some fun. Hope you guys are going to have a good time with it too. Also, letting you know, right around the corner, we have the Money Show coming up. I'm going to be speaking at the one in San Francisco. It's at the Fairmont, which is a very nice hotel, so it's going to be nice hanging out there for a little bit. But I'll be talking about consistent setups to time the strongest market themes. And this will be a 2-hour masterclass. Of course, you have to have a special ticket in order to get into the classes for the Money Show. But it'll be well worth it, and hope to see a good number of people out there. Otherwise, I'll be milling around. I'll be talking to a bunch of people. And so if you see me, come say hi. And other than that, simplertrading.com/Moxie is where you can find out more for me, and $7 trial for 30 days is where you can come into the trading room. Okay, so let's do this. This is going to be the itinerary for today, what we're going to be talking about. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. That way you can keep getting more alerts for when I put out videos, and that this is for educational purposes only. Now, there didn't seem to be too much going on this week as far as news. Now, again, I've been traveling a little bit, so maybe I'm not totally dialed in. Basically, it seemed to be CPI and PPI that were the big things, and they both came in line. So nothing crazy. The market was happy with it. It wasn't, kind of like this Goldilocks situation. And then if you remember last week, it was the jobs report that also came in just weak enough that it wasn't bad for the economy, but wasn't going to make the Fed likely to raise rates. So that's kind of what I was seeing. And then I'll just put a note here, SpaceX. I've been looking at X and Twitter and stuff like that, and I've just been seeing report after report after report of big companies, big firms like Nvidia and I don't know BlackRock and some of these other places disclosing how big of a purchase they have made into SpaceX recently. So I just thought that is something to discuss, and we'll get into it a little bit more when I start showing you guys some individual tickers. All right, so let's go through the overall market and start talking about that and see what kind of happened for the week. So if we look at the SPX, I have been discussing this quite extensively with the Moxie traders in the trading room, and basically saying that, yeah, of course, the market is bullish. We're went straight up like this, and now we're going to have to digest. And that's basically what we've been doing. You can see here we have been bouncing off of the hourly 50, and so far so good. Now today was a little bit of a down day again, no big deal. Basically, the market didn't feel like it wanted to run away into Friday, and I think that the market still needs just a little bit more time to consolidate. And I'm just going to point out this area in the market back in late April that looks very, very similar to what we had here. So I think that there could still be some more, call it volatility, while the market figures out what it wants to do. Also, remember we have OPEX next week. Maybe that's going to be a thing. We'll have to see. But hey, you can't be too upset about what the market's doing right here. And as I said, I just think we need to probably digest a little bit more. If I'm wrong about this, like I said, I do think we need to kind of go a little bit sideways, maybe down a little bit to come back into strength. If this turns out to be a fake out move to the upside, watch for the pullback and then watch for the pullback to continue being weaker. And we'll just have to see if that is in fact what develops or not. Again, I'd like to lean on the bullish side, but we'll have to see. The RSP, the equal weight, man, this has been really, really strong and actually have been on a tear for quite some time. I'm almost getting just a little bit nervous about this because it actually has been moving quite well. The only thing I can think here is that the market rotates around and we're kind of seeing maybe strength here and weakness here, and then maybe it can kind of rotate back around. We've talked a lot about Leopold Aschenbrenner and his situational awareness fund marking the bottom for tech. And we've seen really, really big moves coming up off of the bottom for tech and AI and kind of anything related to that. And I'm kind of thinking that some of those names might be just a little bit too, a little too extended right now, and they might need to kind of digest a little bit more, like kind of what we're seeing from the indices. And so it's going to be interesting what happens here, because if I look at the RSP, I just look at it here and here and here, and you can see that those are all kind of peaks. And so if the equal weighted has been getting up here, it's feeling a little extended to me, and so I could see this thing pulling back a little bit. Maybe we get a pull back into the daily 21. And if we talk about rotation, maybe if this has been going crazy and the SPX has still been sideways, then if we get a rotation, maybe this will back off and money will flow into the rest of the market, or the more cap weighted market, and actually see that start to go back up. So those are my 2 cents right here. We'll see what happens about the push-pull between the cap-weighted and equal-weighted. Now, if we look at the IWM, it's going to look a lot like the RSP. We've had a nice move in through here. And really, no complaints. I mean, this looks really good. You can see here we've had a nice bull flag off the hourly 50, and we're making new highs. So again, on the surface, love it. But I'm just going to say, it's not extreme or anything, but I could also see this thing getting maybe just a little bit near-term extended. And so basically, don't be surprised if this thing does some pulling back and back into filling and kind of testing support, maybe needing more time before it can really get going again. So just kind of trying to express a little bit of caution at this moment right here with the market. Some of the other things I'm seeing, like IGV, it's great to see the software coming back. Basically, this is kind of what I've been saying over the last few weeks or couple months is like the SaaS apocalypse was a little bit overblown, and we've been taking a couple trades in the software space for that. But at this point, software, boy, man, this is, I mean, between Palantir and now Reddit joins the S&P and Microsoft, I mean, they really, 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 really went up. And this is not a place that I want to be a buyer. I'd like to be a long-term buyer, sure, of IGV, but coming up here at the prior high and being basically vertical after, I don't know, a week or two, not a place I want to buy. So I would really love to see, and I would expect that this could actually start pulling back. And again, this could be some of the rotation that I'm talking about. Like if software comes down, well, there's been this inverse relationship between software and semis, and so maybe the semis will actually start coming back up again. Not that they've been actually doing too poorly. In fact, we're in AMD, and AMD did really, really well this week. Okay, so speaking of SMH, let's get this loaded. Of course, we know they reversed right off of the Leopold low, and it's been doing pretty well. But since then, it's starting to kind of reach a little bit of resistance, kind of an equilibrium standpoint, and maybe a little bit of resistance at the daily 50. So in through here, I'm looking for a little bit more of digestion, and we will have to see, does software come down, and does that send semis up even further? I'd love to see it, and that's kind of what we're playing for. So we're just going to have to give it some more time and actually see if that is what happens. Okay, Mag's a little bit of a mixed bag. Amazon is still weak. Google, I think, is still weak. Apple may be trying to move up. Microsoft, of course, had a big move. Netflix may be kind of coming off the lows. I think it was Bill Ackman said that they disclosed a position in Netflix. And then Tesla also coming up off of the lows. So a little bit of a mixture through the Mags. No surprise that this needed to pull back a little bit. Came right into a double top, vertical move, needed to do some digesting. So this doesn't surprise me. And that's what we're going to have to be watching for is next week, is the digestion over? Can this hold and can we actually start to get this to move back up? This might be part of that rotation I talk about because, well, you can see they have been weak this week. So that's the mags. And then I decided to add DRAM in here as the ETF because the memory stocks have had a good week too, rebounding number one off of the Leopold low, but then also this pullback right here. I was talking to the Moxie traders, I was talking to those in the Mastering the Trade room, and I know a lot of people were taking my guidance on basically the memory stocks, and I said that I think SanDisk and STK, Seagate were basically the best. And then there was Micron, and then there was WDC kind of pulling up the rear. But basically nice pullbacks here. This is what I call a trampoline move. So price below the 50, but the Moxie indicator above zero. That is a Moxie pattern. That's something I talk about all the time, and that was the setup. So that's why I wanted to point this one out to you guys, that the Moxie indicator was helping to guide us into this particular move and telling you guys that, hey, I think the memory stocks are going to start rebounding also. So they've had a pretty good move as well, and happy to see that. Okay, then let's take a look at breadth. So if we look at the $ SPXA50R, and doing pretty well. I think the last time I left off with you guys on this one, I said, well, I don't really see too much going on. We got a little extended up here, then we pulled back, and basically we've been putting in higher lows. In fact, you could put a trend line here, continuing to do pretty well. We are not at extremes yet. We're not at the 0.8 level. So yeah, I just don't have too much to comment about this, and it seems like it's actually doing okay. So until we start seeing something else, I'm just going to say, hey, steady as she goes. And then we look at the VIX. The VIX also, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, when the Leopold low came right up to 20 and then completely turned around, that was the let's go long signal. And from here, yes, it is getting pretty low. There's some seasonality. I know I put out a few videos in the past about seasonality, but as it turns out, I think that the whole situation with Leopold and the tech AI drawdown that was happening over the last couple of months, I feel like some of the seasonal weakness that we should be having right now basically got pulled forward. So seasonality might get a little bit thrown off this year, actually. The only thing I'm going to be looking concerned about forward are the midterms. Be aware about midterms. And so maybe halfway through October, maybe we need to be a little bit more careful. So kind of hoping that maybe for the next 6 weeks, we could actually be pretty strong in the market, and then we'll see about whatever they want to do leading up to midterms. As I said, I know that VIX is getting low, but of course, it can get a little bit lower, so there could still be a little bit room to the downside here, especially if the market takes a couple dips along the way. And the UVX, same basic thing. Yeah, it's low. Maybe there could be some bounces, but I just don't see nothing too concerned about right now. Okay, let's then talk about SpaceX. Let me come over here to the bigger view. And it's been crazy. Between earnings and the one of the lockups expiring, it actually went up. So this is great. And you can see suddenly there's a lot of volume coming in. So I have a feeling, I don't know what dates or what kind of confirmation there is with the big names that have been disclosing their purchases in SpaceX. Uh, doesn't it kind of feel like maybe those purchases have been actually somewhat recently here down at the bottom? I mean, just look at that volume. It's pretty good, and look at the corresponding bounce that we got. So yeah, this looks really nice. Now, do I want to buy right here? No, I'm hoping for just a little bit more of a pullback. I don't know, maybe somewhere in the 130 to maybe 120. We'll see. We'll see what we can do about that. But hoping for just a little bit more downside, then maybe I can start picking it up, and we'll see if it wants to go higher from there. Okay, so that's SpaceX. And then if we look at NASA or UFO, or if we actually just look at some of the space tickers, they have had really nice moves. In fact, we caught Rocket Lab. I've been talking about Velo, a lot of other things like that. We're actually short RDW, and the reason is because, kind of like SpaceX, we've already had a really nice big move up right here, and it's starting to run into some resistance. So I really don't want to be a buyer of the space stocks up here. I would love to see these things start to back off a little bit, and then we can catch the lows, and hopefully it starts to move higher. So that's why I'm saying, hey, I'm seeing the possibility that the indices and some other places have had some really strong couple of weeks. I think that they're getting a little extended, maybe starting to run into some resistance. I'd like to see some backing and filling over the next few days or couple weeks. So just kind of keep an eye out for that, and just make sure you pick the right kind of stocks for that. Okay, then if we look at Dell, we are up about 70% of max profit on our put credit spread, which is very nice. Good couple of day move on this. Everything looks pretty good for me. I was going to let it go a few more days, see if we can squeak out a little bit more with that. Yeah, pretty happy. What's not to like about this? Looks like an awesome bull flag and then bouncing off of the daily 50. And then AMD, we also did a put credit spread, and I haven't checked it today. In fact, let me see. I don't want to do that. I haven't put my privacy thing on yet. But if we look here, we look at AMD. Nice move up so far. So last time I saw it, I think we were about plus 20%. We are probably up plus 30% of our max profit on that put credit spread with AMD. So, hey, looking really great. And look at this, Moxie price trigger. The Moxie indicator doing the work for you right there. So really, really happy about that one. And then let's see if we look at MSTR. We do have a position in this. It's not really doing much, but it's kind of coming down a little bit. It's not puking or anything. I did make a video, or at least I included it on the last week. I kind of actually thought that pop up was going to be a little bit of the breakout move. Turns out to have been a pop and flop. So we're kind of seeing some of those, pop and flop, pop and flop, pop and flop. Now, I also think that the lows are in. I feel like between this low and earnings low, that there's a bit of a floor here. So you can also see I have this trend line, and what I'm hoping for is that price is going to hold this, and maybe we can start to move back up. We shall see. I'm willing to hang on to this thing for a little bit because, well, I feel like the downside is done, and now we just have to see, is there going to be an upside move? We got some squeeze and some pressure building up, and hopefully that'll happen to the upside. So gonna have to just kind of sit back, relax, and hold our breath a little bit on this one. And then if we look at Warby Parker, this is another one kind of outside of the tech space. I know it looks super duper choppy in through here, but this is something that I've been talking to the Moxie traders about. I've got some theses about this, and yeah, I got in before earnings because I just want it, just in case this thing popped on earnings. I really wanted to be in just because I'd kick myself if I didn't. And I was prepared for it to come down. It stayed in the range that I've been expecting, and we're actually starting to see it start to move up. So there's a good chance I might be adding to this maybe next week if we can actually start to see some moves to the upside and then confirmations. So Warby Parker, I wanted to be sure I diversified, and generally the idea that I think that interest rates will come down at some point, and I think that will be beneficial for things like retail. Warby Parker might have something to do with it. Okay, so that's where I'm going to go. All right, guys. So remember, simplertrading.com/Moxie and come out to the Money Show. I will see you. I'm going to be presenting on August 26th. And then also for anybody who is actually still listening to this, I have a presentation, a promo with some new Moxie Indicator stuff coming up on September 2nd with some new news coming out. So we'll start talking about that in the next few days as well. All right, guys. Thanks again for your time. Catch you later.